Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be going to the Final Fantasy X Vision World with the newer account Rasmus to do some budget runs. Now the runs are sort of inherently budget because the account's only a week old, although of course, some of you may not have the same unit or gear that I'm using, but just alternate and swap stuff as needed. So we're going to start with the Sinspawn GUI. We're only going to be doing the hard modes fights because the easy modes are very easy. I actually already did this one, but I decided to rerun to make it a little bit cleaner because I made a mistake during the video, but whatever. So the damage cap for this one is 1 billion, or specifically 1.030 billion. So this boss it's a fairy, and it's weak to physical. It does some single target physical damage on turn 1. No AoE physical, but it does do AoE magic lightning damage and AoE gravity damage. And both of those can be either sealed, reflected, or nethercited. Also, it does single target poison to just make sure you are immune to poison. So we're going to be using, and you can use any element you want. We're going to be using this team. I used a couple resources to get ready for this Vision World. I unit of choiced a copy of Zahn, and then I omniprismed him. I unit of choiced a copy of the original Balthier. I grabbed his Trust Mastery. I ran it through the Chronicle dungeon to get an upgraded gun for the new Balthier that I off-bannered the other day. I used the VIP coins for both Roos and Balthier to get them both to EX1. They're both still currently in the VIP shop, and the new account had, over 2k VIP coins from producer gifts. And the rest of the party, you kind of already know what's going on there. So yeah, I used a bunch of resources to get ready for this. Hopefully it pays off. But as I know from already running this once, the first fight, we can perfect score. So here's the party. We're passive provoking with Dark Fina, and she's here because she auto buffs LB damage, auto buffs stats, and she also does Fairy Killer, which is obviously useful. Olive is here for just support. Even though it's a physical fight, the spirit isn't so high that Olive is worthless, and just her being one of my best DPS on the account, Olive is still worth bringing. So we're going to use Roberta to triple. We're going to imbue fire to the party. We're going to get ready for triple cast, and we're going to, or quad cast, and we're going to use Triune to do a LB fill for the party, because my units are not EX2. Balthier is going to, what do you think you're talking to for the gun in peril and the buff and all that? Mischarge Water to get his LB modifiers up, and then Mega Elixir to fill the party's mana. Roos can just destroy Pulse to get his LB filled. We can do this with Balthier. Olive will break. We will just fire whatever, and giant melon ammo. And Fina will Fairy Killer the party. Alright, I think Balthier's damage buff is a little bit higher than... We're going to go ahead and Reflector. Let's do it this way. Let's critical Balthier, let's critical Olive, and let's spread those buffs. The killer is already AoE. Alright, so turn 1 is just some single target physical. It's going to be evaded by our Fina. There you go. You could also Mirage it if you don't have an evade provoker. Mirage is totally fine. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get our damage in. Now, to get the chain mission done, we're going to quad Mystic with Roberta. We're going to LB Balthier. We're going to LB Roos. We're going to triple bolting with Fina. We're going to triple bolting with Zahn. Make sure he's wearing his Trust Mastery or STMR. And we're going to LB Olive. So Olive is going to go first. So we're going to send Olive. We're going to wait just a moment. Then we're going to go ahead and send the rest. And that should be a 100 count chain score. It should also be a 1.03 or better damage cap. Alright, there we go. So someone did 500 million, and then the rest of the damage is in there somewhere. I can't see who's hitting what. We'll see the damage breakdown in a moment. So I already can tell you Balthier is probably going to be the one carrying this, but let's go ahead and find out for sure. 1.4, so we overcapped by about 50%, or about 45% more than we actually needed. So there we go. It is the first fight. It is going to get harder. I am a little curious if I can actually perfect score all of these fights on my new account. I don't know. But there it is. As you can see, Olive does really good damage even though it is off element. And as far as Roos goes, Roos really needs to do his setup that I didn't do. I did a quick clear. On later fights, we're going to go through Roos's entire power-up rotation, so he'll do better damage. But yeah, Roos is not really a turn 1, turn 2 OTK burster. He definitely needs to do his setup moves. But that's okay though. We got it done. So there's the perfect score. Let me go ahead and show you the gear real quick, and then we'll move on to the next fight. So we've got Roberta. I forgot what her damage breakdown was. I'm sure it was absolute trash here. She's really just here for buffing, but I did gear her for damage, technically speaking. She has no killers. Balthier in the base form is using his Chronicle. I really got to run it through Item World because he's not maxed on attack. He's also not maxed on Double Hand because I don't have any. I had one copy of Axstar and one copy of Rain, and I gave Rain to someone else. And I just don't have double hand TMRs. It's crazy. I haven't pulled any. Struggles of a fresh account. Anyway, so here's his damage build. Thankfully, he does gear relatively easily with his Chronicle weapon, which I grinded up, and then his own card. So 7,000 attack power, maxed LB damage, and Fairy Killer was only 125. I really got to get more Espers from the story. I keep saying that. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to do it eventually. Roos in the shift form is wearing his TMR and just like kind of leftover gear. And again, we didn't really do his setup rotation, so there we go. 7,200 attack power, 210 LB, and I think, 0 Fairy Killer, because I just don't have enough to go around. Sorry, Roos. Dark Fiena, passive provoke evasion with death immunity. The boss does death on turn 1, so make sure you're death immune. If you don't have Blizzard Orb, something like, Safety Bit, Genji Shield, or if you're using Runda, backup unit. Passive provoke evasion, and she was here because of her Fairy Killer buff. Zahn, just wearing his TMR, support chainer, spread the buffs. We didn't really spread any buffs this clear. He's going to be spreading more buffs in future clears. And then Olive, leftover gear. I did give her a copy of Killer, so, that's nice. There we go, 8,000 attack power, and I think she's only got that one killer. Yeah, just 75 kills. So killers were horrible on this because new account problems, but, it was fine. We did it. Anyway, let's go to the next fight. See you in a moment. Alright guys, next up is going to be the Spherimorph fight. It's a magical fight. It's also a fairy again, and even though it doesn't show it on the icons, if you look on the detail screen, it's actually only weak to fire, ice, lightning, and water. So because looking at the boss's AI online, he's got like 100 spells in his kit. I don't really feel like dealing with that. So we're going to attempt a turn 1 OTK. Perfect score, may or may not work. I have no idea. Let's give it a go and see what happens. If it works, wonderful. If not, well, big sad face, we're going to have to adjust things. So, let's see what happens here. Okay, so we're going to use Fiena to just do a Fairy Killer buff. We're going to use Waka to just do his LB. Olive's going to LB. Roberta is going to Inferno and then double Mystic. Javi is going to quad Bolting. And then Sakura is going to quad Bolting as well, but she'll just do this one right here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to click Roberta, then we're going to immediately click Olive after. We're going to wait like 2 seconds, then we're going to click our support chainer. So Roberta, Olive, wait, support chainers. And I think that should properly cap. Now, whether it perfect scores or not. 1.08. Okay, it did. It did. Wow, ooh, that was close. 1.08. I mean, it was a perfect score. 1.09. Okay, the support chainers. So that worked. I guess, if you don't want to be, or if you can't, go for that quick OTK clear. I guess a magical tank with fire, ice, lightning, and water resist up to 300% because the boss does big in perils. Poison immunity. The boss looks like a lot of stuff can be reflected as well. So if you have a reflect ring, you're kind of like immune. If you give your magic tank a reflect ring, it looks like you're completely immune to literally everything. Because it looks like it's all coverable and all reflectable as far as I can tell from the screen. But I don't have a ton of resist gear. So for me, instead of dealing with resist gear, it was easier to deal with like the turn 1 blow it up strategy. And that worked out. And we worked out, well enough. We got it done. But, it was probably a little harder for people to copy. Anyway, so the party we used was, the gear in here is irrelevant. You can ignore that. Literally all she did was her Fairy Killer buff. Waka, literally naked. He just did his breaks on turn 1, his LB on turn 1, I should say, which is a 120 all in peril and an 87 break. Beach Blaster Olive, the only damage dealer. Again, 8,000 magic. LB damage on turn 1. Double Killer. Chain Cap up. You know, the good stuff. Her own card. 250 LB. And 150 Fairy Killer. It'd be a lot easier if I had a Fairy Killer Esper. So if I wanted to go, for example, to the story mode and get either Carbuncle, Behemoth, or Leviathan, they all give Spirit Killer, and that would have made this a lot easier. Or if you have just better gear, you know, in general, then you could gear Spirit Killer. For example, if I had Blue Mage Fina's STMR from the story, just, you know, it's time consuming to get that. I could have worn that for 100 Spirit Killer in the chest slot, swapped out a Cursed Doll for a Yuna's STMR or 2 of them, you know, stuff like that. So you definitely can gear Olive better than I did, but you got to use what you can. And Roberta is like literally whatever. She just support chained. Javi, literally whatever, just support chain. This gear is just like, I just tossed on, literally, this is like leftover garbage. Who cares? They didn't deal any damage. Anyway, there was the Spherimorph fight. Perfect scored with the new account. So let me adjust some stuff and we'll go to the next one. See you in a moment. Alright guys, next up is Baran and Yenki Ronso. These are beast as well as humans. One of them is weak, let's see, the Baran is weak to water, wind, and light physical, and Yenki is weak to lightning, earth, and dark physical. But it's an AoE fight, so we're going to just AoE damage these guys with this party. I don't know what they do on turn 1, so we're going to just see if Mirage is all we really need on turn 1, or Evasion Mirage. If they go crazy with the magic on turn 1, I'll have to adjust the party. But let's go ahead and see what happens here. So we're going to do Roberta. We're not going to imbue fire. We're going to Mirage. We're going to get ready for quadding, and then we're going to Triune to fill LB gauge. Roos is going to fill LB gauge. Balthier will do his setup stuff again. Olive is going to break everything. We're going to do Beast Killer. Then we're going to Water Imbue and Giant Melon. Fina will resist buff and just whatever. And then Zahn, let's go ahead and do this first. Wait for all this to finish. Alright, what Zahn will do is we will Reflector. We're going to critical the Self Beast Killer off Olive. We're going to steal the Imbue off Olive, and this is why you will see Zahn. And we're going to Projected Mirror. Okay, so let's see if turn 1 does anything kooky. Absolutely not. Easy. Okay, so now we're going to... which one was the Water Weak one? The Water Weak one is Baran. So Baran is the bottom one. So we're going to chain on the bottom guy. So we're going to single target chain with you, single target LB with Roos. But now we're going to AoE chain with Fina. Oh, actually... Zahn is not AoE chaining, or is he? Oh, Zahn's not an AoE chainer. Well, Balthier's AoE. Olive is AoE. So... I guess we won't properly cap, I guess. Isn't Thief in the Night AoE? It is. So we're gonna, like, bolting, and Thief in the Night. I don't know if this timing is gonna work. Oh, geez. Well, we're gonna just, like, do the best we can. We will definitely cap everything on Baran. So we're gonna send you, and we're gonna wait. We're gonna send the rest, and I don't know. We'll either single cap one or we'll AoE cap both with Zahn's one and only AoE. It looked like we did AoE cap a little bit of chaining. I don't know. As long as we did 1 billion or better, we're fine. It's an AoE fight. We should have done 1 billion. Like, give me a break. Oh my god. I'm panicking for nothing. Yeah, AoE fights are super, super easy to damage cap because it's AoE, obviously. Even though we didn't really have AoE chainers, it kind of worked out. It kind of worked out. So there we go. That was the Baran and Yenki fight. Let's go ahead and check who did what. Although I'm going to have a strong suspicion it was all Balthier and Olive. Unless we're losing connection. Game. Come on. Give me that perfect score. Either the server's lagging or it's me. It's probably the server. I have no idea. Okay, I will be back in a moment when the connecting finishes. See you in a sec. Okay, guys. Yeah, I'm not sure what it was. I guess a moment of server lag, whatever. Anyway, so here it is. So, oh, surprisingly, Olive did the big boy damage here, even though it's a physical fight. Oh, probably because, okay, you know what it probably was? It was probably that Olive capped at a better time during our single and only cast of AoE with Zahn. But in any case, we overcapped by a lot, and I am like really close to leveling up, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, let me show you the gear real quick, and then I'm gonna go level up and probably spend some arena orbs or something, and then we will come back and do some more. So the party hasn't really been changing a whole lot. I just like copy pasted a different party slot and changed killers a little bit. Here's Roberta. I forgot what the damage she dealt, but I'm sure it was very, very low. So there's Roberta, support chainer. Balthier gears for beast and human like by default. So he's like max beast and max human without even trying. So and LB damage was maxed out. So pretty simple. Roos is still bringing up the rear. He has a single target damage dealer. One day we're gonna do a long fight, and Roos is gonna have time to power up, and he's not gonna look so horrible. But unfortunately, we're still going for those quick turn 2 OTKs, and that is not really Roos's playground. Fina is, again, our support provoker. Evasion. Yeah, there you go. Got it. Zahn, just whatever. And then Olive is, again, use a little bit of killers, and there we go. Okay. Now it is time for me to spend some arena orbs and all that, and we'll go to the next fight in a moment. See you then. Alright guys, next up should be the Seymour Flux fight, but I have a strong feeling the Seymour Flux fight is going to require quite a bit of trial and error to work out. So for the moment, we're going to push that one to the side and come back to that later. We're going to go to the Behemoth fight, which should be very, very easy for this team. So the Behemoth fight is a physical fight weak to water, and we've been using primary water DPS the whole time anyway, so this should be pretty fine. The boss does single target physical and death on turn 1, and then on turn 2, I'm not sure if there's a way to stop it, but on turn 2, it like just killed me. Just right out. The whole party just died. So on our turn 2, we're gonna just like kill the boss. Anyway, it's a physical beast weak to water. This whole party is extremely water, extremely anti-beast. I think we're gonna have no problems at all dealing with the damage cap. But the damage cap for this one is actually 2 billion at this point. So Roberta is going to, on turn 1, Draconic Triune, Mega Breath, and support from the skies. Balthier does his usual setup stuff. Magnus, Mischarge, Mega Elixir. Roos does his usual thing. Let's see. Fina literally has nothing to do. She can just guard. We'll come back to Zahn. And then, let's see. We're going to use Break, Beast Killer, Water Imbue, and then focus on... Whoops. We did that by accident with Zahn and punched. So we're not going to have good Beast... We're gonna come right back. I want to do this properly. I clicked the wrong person. Okay, so let's get in here and do this again. That was my bad. Okay, so we need to get prepared for turn 1. Let me see here. Thankfully, we can reload most of the units. All right, you can reload. Olive needs to break, Beast Killer, Water Imbue, and Giant Melon. You can reload you. Okay, and then once all this finishes. Now Zahn can triple. We're going to steal the killer off of Olive, the imbue off of Olive, and we're going to spread. Okay, so turn 1 is single target physical and death. We are provoking it with Dark Fina, who is wearing death immunity. Not a problem. There's the blackout death kills the unit. Whatever. Now turn 2, he does like AOE kill everybody, but we're not gonna fool with that. We're gonna just kill him instead. So we're gonna Mystic Breath, we're gonna LB, you've seen this before, we're gonna LB, we're gonna triple bolting, and we're going to triple bolting. So we're gonna send you, wait, send you, and I think that should be 2 billion. I'm trying to look for like a big 1.5. Yeah, someone did 1.5, probably Balthier. So we're good. We're good. Yeah, like I said, Balthier has just innate water, innate beast killer, so he makes this real easy. We need 2 billion, we did 3.7. Perfectly fine. Yeah, I don't know how to stop that, like, that AoE just blow everybody up on turn 2. I don't know. I guess just kill the boss on turn 2. That's my solution for it. So yeah, Olive, Roos, big sad face, Roos. One day. Alright, so there's our setup, and I'll show you the gear and all, but the gears like really hasn't really changed for the most part. It's kind of all the same. The only thing I'm moving around is killers a little bit. We'll go ahead. Sorry, I'm choking. Roberta's gear hasn't changed. Balthier's gear, I went and ran it through Item World after leveling it up, so now I have a nice Item World enchant on my guns. Not really the best, but it's pretty good. There we go, and then he doesn't really need killers because he is naturally beast. Roos, naturally beast as well, didn't matter, he still basically did no damage. Fina doesn't matter. Passive provoke, evasion, death immunity, so there you go. And then Zahn doesn't matter. And then Olive gave her a source of beast killer, and I wish I had more copies of Chain up, but I don't, so big sad face. Anyway, that was that one. Let's go to the next one. See you in a moment. Alright guys, next up is the Defender Z fight. This one is another physical fight that is weak to fire and lightning. It is a machine, and we're going to just be using our water guys again, because I feel like Olive and Balthier can easily cap this, even though Balthier is going to be technically wrong element here. I think it'll be fine. It's a machine fight. So the boss does single target physical damage on turn 1. He does have AoE physical as well. I don't think he does it on turn 1. We're going to kill on turn 2, so I think we're going to be fine here. So we're going to go ahead and Inferno Breath, Mega Breath, and Draconic Triune. You've seen this 100 times at this point, so boost, boost, boost. This time, Roos can do a Machine Killer buff, which is going to help out a little bit. Olive will do Break, Break, Machine Killer, Flaming, and Melon Ammo. Fina can literally just guard. Let's see, you can repeat or do your stuff. And then, let's see, Zahn will Reflector. Let's go ahead and steal the killer from Olive. We don't need to steal Imbue. Let's go ahead and steal an attack buff from Balthier and spread this up. So that 200% machine killer buff from Olive is going to be quite helpful in damage capping this. We need 2 billion. I have a feeling we're going to do a lot more than 2 billion, even though we are going to be wrong element with some of our DPS, like Roos and Balthier. So LB, 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 Sun, bolting, Fina, bolting, chain, wait, chain. And that should have been 2 billion. Fingers crossed. We'll find out, I guess. Okay, 1.4, and someone in there is going to hit for a really high as well. The 1.4 was probably Olive, even though maybe it was Balthier. I don't know. Balthier was wrong element, so it might not have been Balthier. 3 billion. We needed 2. We did 3. So there we go. The next fight is okay. I'm gonna look. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Oh yeah. Olive carried, even though it wasn't technically weak to magic. And then Balthier did a billion basically. Okay, so I'll show you the gear again, but again, the gear isn't changing. The gear is just staying the same, other than moving killers around. So I did move the killers around a little bit. So. Thankfully, because this account has already gone and done Death Machine, I've got some machine killers on the party. You know, Death Machine, and Stroper, and all that. So we've got... come on, Balthier. Machine Eater Sense on Balthier, so I think he's at 275 killer. Yeah, 275 killer. Roos is Big Sad Face. He's at max killer, but, you know, Roos. And then Zahn, and then Olive is using some machine killers. I think she's at max as well. Yeah, max machine killer, you know, her own vision card, etc. Okay, I'm going to go try out the Spectral Keeper. If it seems easy, I'll record that too. If it seems like I'm going to have to, like, really brainstorm the Spectral Keeper, then I will, then I'll go and do that in a different video. Yeah, we'll see. Let me go ahead and try this, and I'll either upload the video as it is, or we'll keep going. See you in a moment. Alright guys, we are going to do the Spectra Keeper. This one's a little bit trickier to do. We need to get more damage, meaning we're going to go for the full setup burst mode with this clear. So here's the party, and here's what we're going to do. The boss does AoE physicals on some turns, and berserks on the third turn, and then on turn 4, he kind of like wipes you out. Or the end of turn 5, he wipes you out. So he also counterattacks 3 times a turn. So we're going to use Roberta to fill LB gauge and hit the boss twice to get some counterattacks going. So fill LB gauge, there we go. Then Zahn, actually let's have Olive go next. Olive is going to break, Aqua Killer, Water Imbue, and Melon. Wait for this to finish. We have one more counter left unclaimed at the moment. Alright, so now Zahn is going to double up. We're going to get one of the killers off of Olive, and then we're going to just hit the boss with whatever to eat that third counter. Okay, there we go. Now Rivera is going to Encore. We're going to Reverberation. We're going to Impish Nocturne on Zahn to get a big Demon Killer buff. And then we're going to Musical Barrier to Mirage the party. Let's see. Balthier is going to just hang out this turn. And so is Roos. We need to get Roos's LB. So there's 2 counters and 1 counter. Now an AoE physical. Zahn and Roberta are evading, by the way. Alright, so we need to eat 3 counters this turn. So... oh, no, we can't do it that way. Let's do... turn 4. Yeah, so we need to do Mega Breath this turn, Draconic Trioon this turn, and Support from the Skies this turn. We gotta do it this way. So we haven't eaten any counterattacks yet. Let me think for a second. I gotta have Zahn eat all the counters this turn, don't I? I do. Alright, Zahn, you gotta eat all the counters, dude. Alright, Zahn, counter. Handle it. Okay, there we go. So now we can use Roos's base form LB to power him up. That's what we've not been doing for a long time. We've been really needing to do that. Balthier can use his big shift form break, True Expose. Rivera can just refresh the Impish Nocturne on Zahn this turn. Olive can just focus or just keep using Melon for now. Okay. An attack, not a problem. Zahn counters. Okay, this turn the boss is going to do... let's go ahead and do a big LB buff with you. Let's have Roos, and we're going to kill on turn 4. So... yeah, so Roos is going to shift this turn. And get his shift, but not yet. We're going to do the shift and cooldowns next turn. So Roos is going to guard this turn. Balthier can just break defense again. Yeah, because we're getting Berserk this turn. So, we're not going to hit the boss, we're not going to counters, we don't really need anything. Meaning, Zahn can just, on this turn, do a Reflector. We're going to critical himself, Elemental on Olive, and we'll critical on, I guess, Roos, whatever. We can just guard you, and you can just continue to refresh Giant Melon ammo. A little bit tricky doing it this way. You know, we got to kind of squeeze out all the damage here. So here's the Berserk, which is why we have to do it on turn 5. So there's our SOB for Olive. That'll be useful later. Wait for all this to finish. So our Berserked Roberta is quad attacking. She's going to eat all the counter attacks. So that's awesome. Wait for all this to finish. Okay, let's get ready for killing next turn. So we're going to Giant Melon on you. Balthier, go to the base form where we get all his usual stuff ready. So... Magnus, Mist, and Mega. Roos can now do all his cooldowns. So he can boost LB of casters and boost LB of casters. Finally, we can get the full power up of Roos. Isn't it awesome? Alright, let's see. And all this finishes up. Zahn can now spread the buffs. And Rivera is honestly just here for Mirage on turn 1 and then Demon Killer. So she served her purpose. Okay, we still have multiple Mirage from Roberta for earlier in the fight. So now the Berserk is gone. Now it is time to kill. So Zahn is going to SLB. We're just going to guard you. We're going to SLB. I'm sorry, Zahn's going to LB, and we're going to SLB Olive. LBU, Balthier, LBU, and then Quad Mystic on you. And that's going to be our clear. Okay, so we're going to basically just chain them all, yeah. Whatever. And we're looking for 4 billion or better. Can't quite see the damage we're dealing, but hopefully it's high. Alright, the boss is a physical fight, so Olive is not really going to be super contributing here. 4.9. Oh, we did it by 20% more than we needed. Okay, so that worked out. Yeah, so the final bosses are definitely a little trickier to deal with, but we got it there. And Roos finally got to do his power-ups. That being said, Roos had basically 0 killers. Roos had, like, no killers at all. So, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, Roos, without the killers, we did need him, though, because we only did 2.5 and 1.4. So Roos was important, but, you know, killer gear is a major problem on this account. Feels bad. Someday, I've said it 100 times, I'll say it again, I will go and get Espers, and I can use, like, Tetra Sylphid for Bird Killer, you know, etc. But that just takes so long to do the story. I don't want to. I don't want to do the story. Alright, so we still have Unaleska, and we've still got to do Seymour Flux. I'm going to be saving both of these guys for a different video. But as far as the party we just used, so here's the party we used for the Keeper fight. So Roberta is our passive Provoker with Moogle Charm and Tulian's Card. Dual wielding with Yeti combat style so that we can quad attack on turn 4 and eat all the counterattacks. Other than that, just whatever, doesn't matter. Balthier is Demon and Bird Killer. Thankfully, once again, Balthier gears very easily because he has innate Bird Killer. He's maxed on Bird Killer by default. Demon Killer 250 because my Diablos is low level. I don't have Demon Killer learned on Diablos. So it's not quite good enough. Also, I don't have enough double hand because gear. Shift form, naked, just whatever. But his shift form does do an 87% defense break, which was kind of important. Ruse, base form, just call it the wild. Shift form is LB damage versus, technically speaking, birds and demons. We had no killers at all, unless he has innate. Nope, he has no innate killers, and I don't have maxed LB damage because don't have enough gear to go around. He still did 1 billion damage though, so yeah. Roos is okay if you do his whole power-up rotation. So even with no killers whatsoever, even with no STMR, even with only 210 LB damage, he still did 1 billion damage. Like, he's an okay unit. He just definitely needs the time to power up. Also, he desperately desires Tybus's STMR that I don't have. Rivera, literally here just for Demon Killer. In Mirage on turn 1. I gave her a little bit of Mirage in case we accidentally attacked. It didn't matter because she didn't matter. Zahn is full evasion because he also soaks counterattacks on some of the turns. And other than that, full evasion and buff sharing. And then Olive is geared for damage versus demons and birds. I think she caps bird naturally. Bird and then demon is only at 50 because, you know, killers. And we had the cool smile card for extra damage on the SLB. And there it is. There was our first 5 bosses. So Seymour and Unaleska are probably going to force me to go and do story mode and get more Espers for killers because I think I'm going to need a lot of killers to do those guys. Anyway, that was that. So see you in a moment. Or tomorrow. Or whatever. Later.